Back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a kind of like first impressions or review on the Jeffree Star and Morphe brush collection, which I have right here. And I also have the sponges, which are wet, so I had to take them out of the packaging. But if you guys are interested, just keep on watching. So like I said, I already prepped my face and I already wet my sponges. I just want to quickly show you guys how little the sponge is and how big it gets after it gets wet. So it's definitely a difference. And I will be using that for foundation and concealer. Now the brushes, I will use some of them. I know there's only 7. I love the bag, by the way. Holographic and pink are like my favorite colors ever, so I love that. And I also want to mention that I love how they're all individually wrapped. They come in this little clear baggie, and when you take them out, they're also wrapped like individually, like for say this one, you know. So I love it packaging wise, and I guess like, yeah, everything, like the way they designed it and everything, the holographic Jeffree Star logo, it is amazing, very Jeffree Star. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I already prepped my face and I want to do my foundation first, just because I want to be sure that I like how it applies. So I was thinking about using the Wet n Wild stick foundation that I reviewed recently. So I think I'm gonna use this for foundation today. If you have not yet watched that video, I will link it in the e-cards just in case anybody wants to watch it. And let's blend away. On the other side, I will be using the JS1, which is the size Queen, and I wanted to use one item on each side just to see what I feel. So now that I've used the brushes, I want to quickly go into my mirror and check which finish I like the most. And I gotta say, you guys, it is pretty damn similar. I don't see any streakiness at all. I'm trying to like see all these angles of my face, but not any streakiness at all with the brush. And you know how some brushes will leave you like streaks or little marks of the hair, but this, you guys, seamlessly. I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into concealer, and for concealer I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics concealer. Jeffree needs to like hurry up and make some concealers because girl, light and contour sponge, and let's see if you like it. So I gotta say that the little sponge works really nice. I'm just kind of scared that it's gonna stay stained. I will let you guys know if it does stain the brush. Hopefully it doesn't, because I don't want my brushes to be stained. And that was like an initial kind of like like scary problem that I didn't want to use them because I didn't want the hairs to be stained. But I'll furtherly let you guys know. Now I'm using the first brush to kind of set the rest of the face, just because I don't see a larger brush. I see another brush, but I think I want to use that one for bronzer, so I'm just gonna multitask. So far so good. The brushes feel really soft and really nicely made, so I don't have any complaints on that. Now I'm gonna go on to bronzer, and I think for bronzer I want to use the JS3, which is, okay, it's this one right here. So initially looking at it, it looks a little small for what I'm typically comfortable using for contouring, but I'm gonna give them a try. So I have to say that with this brush, I was a little skeptical at first because it is so small, and I'm used to something a little larger for, say, let me just show you guys this side by side. I'm used to something like this, which is like an angled brush. So I was initially scared to use this brush, but I feel like it saved me time because I always end up going in with a sponge to clean out the bottom of my contour, and this time I don't see myself having to go back and do that. We're gonna go on to let's do blush. So for that we have the JS2, which I love how this one has like a little like, I guess like little hair holder, I would call it. So yeah, now I'm gonna go in with a Tarte blush, and let's try it out. I love it. I feel like it gives like such an airbrushed feeling to the blush. Not a typical blush wearer, so this is big for me because I don't have to be worried of over blushing, so that's always nice. So I thought, since the next step is highlighter, and for that we have the JS4. Let me just get my brushes together. JS4, which is this one. I thought it would be real nice to use a Jeffree Star highlighter. So believe it or not, I only have one Jeffree Star highlighter, and yeah, let's give this a try. Put a little setting spray. I'm just a little curious on how this is gonna come off with setting spray. Just a quick little spritz with dipper brush, and we highlight away. Oh my good God. The effect, you guys, is literally almost the same. I'm fucking shook. Like, I didn't apply any setting spray on this side and it looks just about the same. I love this brush for highlight. It is so pretty and nice. So next I'm gonna try on some shadows. I'm not gonna try as many because the video will be like 3 hours long, but I'm gonna prep first. I always see Jeffree prepping his lids with a paint pot, and he used a little highlighting sponge to prep his lid on his video where he was talking about the brushes. So I'm gonna do the same. that, I'm gonna use Sister James Charles palette, and let's go in with the first brush, which is Crease Queen, which is nice. It looks like it's putting a lot of product, not a lot of fallout, which is nice. Blend out my crease. I do feel it's a little, maybe I'm not used to it, but I do feel it's a little large for like my crease, but maybe I just take a little getting used to the brush. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Mary, which is like a brick red kind of brownish shade on the James Charles palette. So I really like the way they're blending. I'm not having a hard time blending the shades. I'm just having a hard time getting used to it because it is so big for like the crease. I kind of almost feel that my crease is like super tiny. So I just wish that would have been a little smaller. But other than that, it blends really nicely. Now let's go in with, this one is JS6, which is Rule Blender. Maybe this one will, you know, do the job for me since it is smaller. And yes, this one's like perfect. Okay, so maybe with the other one I could just buff like the edges on the sides, or even deposit like on the whole lid, and this one more for like blending, because since my crease, it is, my eyes are a lot smaller, I do feel like it is a little large for that, but nonetheless it blends really nice. So I'm not going to use the double treble, which is the JS7, just a dual-ended brush. I'm not going to use this one because I had already done my brows, so I totally forgot that it had like a little brow brush situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm already done with all my makeup. I just quickly want to come back and say, if you guys can get your hands on the Jeffree Star brushes, you should definitely do so. I of course did it more because, you know, I'm a fan of Jeffree Star. I love him and I love everything that he puts on the table. I've always admired the way he is, and yeah, I just really love and admire him. So I bought these more for a fan kind of collectives item. I know I've already used them, but I didn't plan to use them, but I did ask you guys, so you guys did tell me that you wanted to see what I thought about them. So I want to just quickly thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys on our next video. Bye guys.